What would happen if you couldn't digest the protein you were eating? Well, it wouldn't get broken down into the amino acids that you want and need, and it wouldn't get delivered to your muscles so that they could grow. So in theory, you could be eating the right amount of protein, but not getting the benefits. That's where apple cider vinegar comes in, so stay with me. I'm going to share with you 3 of the most shocking benefits of apple cider vinegar, but before I do, I want to talk to you about your stomach, your digestive tract, and what this has to do with apple cider vinegar. Make sure to stick around to the end because I'm actually going to give you a bonus, very cool piece of information about apple cider vinegar. Maybe you're familiar with the terms acidic and alkaline. There are different parts of our body that do well with different pH levels. Our stomach, in its most optimal range, has a pH level of 1.5, very low and very acidic. It's designed that way so that in the course of our days, for example, if we eat bad cheese or ingest a pathogen in water, the stomach is designed to just incinerate anything that comes its way. So we want a very acidic environment inside of our stomach. You may be wondering about that right about now because maybe you've experienced heartburn, or we like to call it reflux, acid reflux. The way this feels might lead us to believe that there is too much acid in our stomach. Let me show you why that's not true. When our stomach acid is not acidic enough and too alkaline, there is a flap at the top of the stomach that is unable to be held closed. When the flap is not able to be held closed, acid escapes up through the esophagus and you experience what feels like that burning in your throat. It seems counterintuitive, but the answer is actually more acid in the stomach. This brings us to benefit number 1 of apple cider vinegar, and that is it is an acid that we are putting back in the stomach. As we age, as a byproduct of that age, the stomach acid, which is also known as hydrochloric acid, naturally begins to decrease. So drinking apple cider vinegar, especially before a meal, is a great way to add more acid to your stomach. That allows food to be broken down more efficiently and can result in less bloating, less discomfort, and more absorption of nutrients. Now, if you happen to have very low levels of acid, you can actually take something called betaine HCl, which is hydrochloric acid. This can help to add even more if you feel like apple cider vinegar is just not quite doing enough. Although I would recommend you giving it a good couple of weeks of drinking apple cider vinegar diluted in some water before each meal, before you make your final determination. It's quite remarkable. If you're learning something from these videos, please hit that thumbs up so YouTube knows that you like this, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can be the first to catch my weekly videos. Now, if you're looking to trim a couple of inches off your waistline, then you will want to see this research. This is a study that was published this year. 120 overweight and obese individuals were recruited for the study. Participants were randomly assigned to either an intervention group receiving 5, 10, or 15 mLs of apple cider vinegar, or a control group receiving a placebo over a 12-week period. Their findings showed that daily consumption of the 3 doses of apple cider vinegar for a duration between 4 and 12 weeks was associated with significant reductions in weight, body mass index, and most excitingly, the waist to hip circumference ratio and body fat ratio. But also included was blood glucose, triglycerides, and cholesterol levels. It's well known that a waistline larger than 35 inches for women and 40 inches for men is an indicator of visceral fat, which is the fat that is dangerous as it coats our most important organs and can be an early indicator for signs of type 2 diabetes and other metabolic issues. One exciting thing about this study is that the participants did not go on a quote diet. There was no calorie restriction, and for the most part, none of them even had an exercise regimen. So this is really exciting data specifically for apple cider vinegar as a standalone. And finally, number 3 is that there are some amazing studies that have been done pointing to the major benefits to diabetics and those who have unstable blood sugar. The first study of 317 patients with type 2 diabetes concluded that apple cider vinegar yields beneficial effects on fasting blood sugars and A1C levels. This study found that apple cider vinegar consumption significantly decreased serum total cholesterol. Diabetes damages the lining of your arteries. This means it's more likely that cholesterol will stick to the lining because cholesterol comes in to make repairs when there is a damaged lining to arteries. In the end, this makes them even more narrow and blocked, so this is great news for diabetics. And finally, this study, done in 2023, confirms daily consumption of apple cider vinegar may have beneficial effects in controlling blood glucose indices and lipid profile in patients with type 2 diabetes. And I promised if you stuck around to the end, I would leave you with one more remarkable thing that I learned about apple cider cider vinegar. And that is, remember when I told you that we need acid to digest protein and absorb minerals? Well, when we get stressed, we produce higher amounts of cortisol, and that makes us more alkaline, which is not what we want in our stomach. Remember, we want a very acidic environment in our stomach. When we have high cortisol, we lose hydrochloric acid, which prevents us from being able to absorb calcium and other essential minerals. When we are too alkaline, we also lose potassium, which happens to be another essential mineral. Low potassium causes high blood pressure, constipation, weakness, fatigue, and irregular heartbeat. This is all a chain reaction from low stomach acid. So here's your fun fact. Don't drink alkaline water. Remember, we want an acidic environment in our stomach. So the next time you're on vacation and you need to grab some water, don't choose the alkaline water. Be sure to check out my most popular video, Fix Your Gut Problems Forever with these 5 easy steps. Go ahead and watch that one next. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching my video.